Hi. How are you? How are you? I hope you're hearing me okay. Leah, Mickey, Bang Luna, Janine, Leah, Beth, AM, Bernice, Me Too, Bexella, Verna, Mickey, BTS Forever 7, Living Sweetly, Rebecca, Christy, Spring Day, and Lives. Yukari, Eliza, there's a lot of you. Shelling, Heather, Eve, Multistan 95, Laura, and Diane, Namhar. Oh my God, it's a lot of you. Hi, everybody. How are you? Rachel, Maria. It's a lot of you. How is everyone doing? Are you still streaming? I hope you guys are streaming for Jin. Also, I'm just observing if you are on Twitter. Magandang araw, Essie. Good day. So I just observed that a lot of people on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, they would screen record certain portions of the shows where um, Jin has been in, and so what's happening is that they're actually the ones getting the views, which is not bad. I mean, they we should interact with fellow armies. It's just that they keep on doing it. Sometimes they would screen cap like an entire portion of the show. The people don't bother to go to the main show anymore. So the show where Jin was don't get as much views as he should have been getting. So I hope that as a practice, let's try to actually go to the actual YouTube channel where Jin has been. As you know, this was his big project. He asked armies where we wanted him to appear in. And so I hope that we give those channels, those shows, those YouTube shows enough views, not just our fellow armies who are reposting content. Please tell that woman to keep the name out of it. I know a lot of people are so pissed. So if you are a Patreon subscriber, you would know last night a friend of mine started translating the entire show. So it's three and a half. She thought it was going to take her about 2 days. Of course, she has a job, but then she found herself having to pause after every several minutes because she keeps on getting pissed. So she thinks that it's going to take her like 2 more days or 3 more days because she just simply can't stand the woman. But then because she promised me that she was going to translate it, she's going to translate it. So if you are my Patreon subscriber, then you will get the translation. So we will know more about this, everything that she said, hopefully properly contextualized. And hi boy gave up to yeah, I won't be surprised if one of these days she just texts me and says I don't want to do this anymore. But she was really pissed. She was really really pissed. So I'll talk about that actually. Hi. Jonathan's channel is very humble, so the views would be nice for him. Oh yeah, yeah. Please go to the actual show where Jen actually guests and watch it there. Comment, like, give them the views that. Let's show them the power of armies, like the power that we used to show the world before. Please support those channels instead of I have absolutely nothing against other creators who would screen cap or whatever, for as long as it's just a teaser and then they lead you to the actual show, that's okay. But some of them would really like get chunks of the show and they'll get the best one. So other armies won't feel the need to actually go to the actual program. So please go to the actual show and support them. Okay. Does Bangtan TV count? Where? Count where? I feel it's stealing the content. Some people feel that. For me, it depends. As I've said, if it is a teaser, like if it's a 15-second teaser, and then they leave you with a cliffhanger, right? Like you want to know more. I think that's okay. And then they lead you to the actual show. I will accept that. But sometimes, as I've said, sometimes they would just get an entire chunk of the show and not bother to actually give lead you to the YouTube channel. So it's I just feel bad because that's their show. They should get credit for that. And of course, again, let's support Jen. Let's show them the power of Jen. The only reason I knew about you was from where someone posted a little bit. See, that's exactly what I was talking about. If it is a teaser, then that's okay. Side note, LA Dodgers won the World Series. They caught up? Oh, congratulations. I have it in my watch list on YouTube. Congratulations to the Dodgers. Okay. Well, I am from LA. I am supposed to be happy. All right. So let's start with Min Heejin. A lot of questions. Some of you sent me some questions. I'll try to answer them here. Specifically, what now? Now that the court decided that they will not require Hybe to reinstate her as a CEO, what is going to happen now? So let's try to answer some of the questions connected to that. And then after I go through what I'm going to be showing you, then let's talk a little bit about it before we go on to the next part of the live stream. Okay. Hi Boy said that the interviewer's face change is because MHJ kept on talking about herself. She wouldn't talk about music. um I mean, what was he expecting? Was he expecting that she would talk about something else? I mean, come on. um all right. I will share my screen. You're going to see a blank screen for a bit before you actually see something. So it's a blank screen, and then you're going to see a white screen, just white. So give it a minute. Carolyn Mata, you're on break. What, from work or from school? What if MHJ said that about V to expose him to make an issue again and for KNets to hate V because he used his phone while he was starting in the military? Yeah, that's one of the issues that we have right now because a lot of people are saying they're going to report him. Let's first go into the court decision. So some of the sources that I've used are here. So I'm not going to invent any fact. All the information I will be sharing in relation to the court decision have been shared by newspapers, the media. Okay, so basically, the reason the court decided not to grant the request of Min Heejin to reinstate her, to force Hyde to reinstate her as a CEO, is that the claims do not meet the requirements to constitute the legal grounds for a court judgment. So that's what they said. That's what they officially said in the document. The claims do not meet the requirements to constitute the legal grounds for a court judgment. Now, this usually happens when the claim is too vague. That's one, either too vague or it is unsupported by relevant laws, meaning you're asking the court to do something that is not required by the law. So the court is passive. They only implement the law, they don't write it. So if you want them to do something, if you're asking them to do something, it has to be supported by the law or by a regulation or by the constitution. Or the other reason it was not granted is that it is insufficiently substantiated by facts. Meaning, if Min Heejin says, without me, New Jeans won't have a career or won't have a future, she has to substantiate that. She can't just claim it. She has to give the court tangible reasons why no other producer or no other creative director can manage New Jeans. So in if all of those things, one of those things, if any of these factors is present, then it is impossible for the court to rule on the matter, meaning they can't do anything about it. You can't make the court do something that has no legal basis. So her claim, so remember that that is the judgment. Her claim is based on the procure clause. This is where the entire claim was actually hinged on. The procure clause compels Hybe, it tells Hybe that you should compel your board of directors to vote in favor of reinstating Min Heejin as CEO. That's the procure clause. You will compel your representative to do something that you want them to do. So, if you would remember, we were laughing about this the last time we had the live stream. The judge asked, what is the legal basis for procure clause? Show me where it is in our law, not even the Constitution, but the law or the regulation that says a procure clause is actually implementable, meaning the owner or the corporation behind the people that were appointed as board of directors can actually dictate what the board of directors can do. Show me where it is. And Min Heejin's lawyers admitted that they found no legal basis or precedent to execute the procure clause. So they're saying actually there's nothing. There's no we didn't find anything. We're just saying that it has to be implemented. However, Kim and Chang, which is the legal representative of Hybe, said that they actually found a source, and it was a lawyer from Sejong. Sejong is the representative of Min Heejin. And in the last hearing, their lawyer actually said that the procure clause cannot be enforced and that no claim or injunction can be filed to enforce them. In other words, you can't appoint somebody to perform a specific job and then tell them what to do. You can't do that. All right. So they dismissed the case. So the court said, well, you can't find any legal basis. This other guy found a legal basis saying that it cannot be enforced. So we're going to dismiss the case. We cannot rule on this. So the there are two types of dismissal in the court. One is substantive dismissal, and then the other is procedural dismissal. Procedural is anything that is a technicality, like if something went wrong with the way that you filed, if the evidence that you presented were illegally obtained, if you didn't follow the procedure, for example, in a criminal case, actually, if the police arrested the suspect and you didn't Miranda, you didn't read the Miranda rights. That's a procedural dismissal because you did not follow the procedures. That's a procedural dismissal. Now, lawyers in South Korea are saying this is actually a substantive dismissal, meaning the court actually examined the core arguments and evidence of the case, and they said this is not valid. Of the two, the substantive dismissal stands. You can appeal it, but usually it stands stronger because they reviewed the arguments of the case. Procedural, if you can correct your mistakes in terms of the procedure, they can hear the case again. So one of the questions that you asked is this the end of Min Heejin's case? No. They are still hearing the shareholders agreement. So if you would remember, Hybe asked the court to confirm their right to dismiss the shareholders agreement. So in their view, they do have that right because she violated something. She violated the agreement. So that automatically gives them the right to terminate it. But I guess to make it airtight, they actually asked the court to approve the shareholders agreements, but that is still ongoing. They haven't gotten the decision yet, and it was actually referred to by this court. The court said that the main trial should be the one reading this case, not me. Okay, now the basis of Hybe for dismissing the shareholders agreement is the termination of the shareholders agreement is Min Heejin distributing a copy or sending somebody else a copy of the shareholders agreement, which is supposed to be confidential. So they provided an evidence proving that she actually distributed a copy of the shareholders agreement. And since it is a violation of the shareholders agreement, then they terminated it. In their view, that is enough for us to terminate the shareholders agreement. Now, the initial decision was specific on the procure clause. So the current case that just finished, the one that say that they cannot require Hybe to reinstate her as a CEO, they were very specific on the procure clause. They said we cannot enforce the procure clause, so this is dismissed. But they did not render a judgment on the shareholders agreement. So that is still ongoing. In other words, she still has hope. She can still get the 80 million. And according to the lawyers of Min Heejin, which they reinforced and they stated again after the decision, they said that according to the shareholders agreement, Min Heejin is supposed to be the CEO until November 1, 2026. So if the main court hears the case and actually favors Min Heejin, then she may still be reinstated as the CEO. However, that I don't think that's going to happen. What is more likely to happen is that they will honor the put option. So they will honor Min Heejin's ownership of the 20%, the 18%. So if the court honors that and she exercises her put option, she can still get her 80 million. So that is still ongoing. She still has a chance. However, in the last shareholders meeting that they had, when she insisted that she be reappointed, she was the only one who voted for herself. She attended the meeting through Zoom or something like that, and then she was the only one who voted for herself. But she's not giving up. So you can't blame her for it. I mean, I think anybody will fight till the end if an $80 million wager is on the line. So she's gonna fight until she has, and for as long as she has something to give, she will fight. Okay, now, yes, I can blame her. It's 18 million. I mean, come on, she's gonna fight for that. So we can expect that she will continue fighting for it till for as long as she has something to give, she'll fight for it. She was upset that no one supported her. Very, very upset. Didn't Hybe offer MHJ the CEO position? But she turned it down. No, they did not. They offered her the board of directors position, which she accepted. She's actually tied to Hybe for 2 more years. And then I think they're still in negotiation on whether she's going to produce new jeans or not. I heard that they're still in negotiation. So it's not yet a done deal, but it looks like she's entertaining the thought. But it looks like she's not going to be reinstated as a CEO. All right. So right after the decision was granted, she made an appearance in a. I felt so bad about this entire thing. I just didn't feel good about what School of Music did. So she made an appearance. She was interviewed by School of Music. So for those of you who don't know, if you're kind of new in the army space, School of Music actually built his channel on BTS. So a lot of his subscribers are BTS, are armies, and a lot of people felt that why are you that it is unfair that he's now giving somebody who's trying to destroy, and who was very, very open about the fact that that she's trying to destroy BTS. Why are you giving this person a platform? And somebody like her will continue talking for as long as somebody is giving her a platform. And given that you built your channel on BTS and on armies, then why are you doing this? Why are you giving a chance to somebody who's trying to destroy BTS? Okay, so that is the point of armies. Now, to be fair, he is, I would assume, he looks at himself as a media person. And along with that would be the responsibility of objectivity. And so if you're offering something, you're supposed to give two sides. So just want to be fair. I think maybe that is what was going on in his head. Okay. Now, in this interview, it was a live stream and almost 3.5 hours long. She did mention V. And one of the greatest contention is that she said V greeted her a happy birthday. Now, MHJ's birthday, according to the letter of um, what's her name? Is December 16 now. Her name is sleeping. Jessica's Crystal. Crystal. So Crystal, the former member of FX, according to her card, her birthday was on the 16th of December, and V enlisted on the 11th. And apparently, if you're a trainee, so you were still a trainee at that time, you're not allowed to use the phone until the end of the training. That is what they're saying. So people are um, threatening to file a complaint against V because he wasn't supposed to be able to use the phone. So they're saying that you have celebrity privileges. So she said something like, "Is he really in the military? He sounded so cheerful." So people are complaining and saying that V's getting a celebrity um, treatment. Now the question is, was she really setting up V, or was she trying to divide armies? I initially, when I heard her story, because it didn't enter my mind, it didn't. I it wasn't just. It was. I didn't realize that when you're a trainee, you're not supposed to be able to use the phone. I thought you have like several hours in a day where you can actually use the phone. So my initial thought is that she was actually trying to make it appear as if a member of BTS is on her side, which is going to weaken the position of Bang Shiok and Hybe. Because as we all know, BTS is Hybe. They are the biggest stars of Hybe. And for as long as they are there, Hybe is going to be there, Big Hit is going to be there. So if she can make people believe that there is a member of BTS that's on her side, she can accomplish several things. Number one, make people believe that BTS is not as solid as everyone wants them to think. Number two, because everyone knows how smart BTS members are, then people are going to say, okay, if there's one member of BTS who's actually sympathizing with her, it means that maybe there's a chance that she's actually the one that is being aggrieved, that she's actually innocent. And number three, as you know, Jungkook allegedly posted something to, well, he, according to Big Hit, they admitted, Jungkook admitted that it was him who posted it, and everyone interpreted it to be Jungkook supporting New Jeans. And now there's V. So I think she wants, this is my initial thought, she wanted to make it appear as if BTS themselves, BTS the group, is actually crumbling because there are members who are taking her side. That was what was on my mind. If and I will not put it past her to do that, because if she can use New Jeans and their parents as pawns in this game of hers, then she won't think twice about using BTS and Army. So I will not, maybe she was doing both. Maybe she was setting up, she was making it appear as if there's a BTS member that's on her side, or maybe she was really setting up V, or maybe both. I wouldn't put it past her. Again, if she can use these girls who were actually the source of her power and their parents, and if she can use these people as pawns, she will have no problem using BTS. Okay. So, what is the solution? Believe in BTS and in BTS only. Everything else is noise. This has always been my stand from the beginning. If BTS wants us to know, they will tell us. Everything else is none of our business. Their relationships, friendships, businesses, money, family members, that those are none of our business. If they don't want to show it, then we should not have any business with it. So if, just for example, we actually really was sympathizing with her. I mean, V is, he has an innocent heart. He has a kind heart. Maybe, I mean, they had a working relationship before. Maybe he was really feeling bad about her, for what is happening to her. I mean, that's V. If that is the case, that is none of our business. We shouldn't even know this, because this is V's life and it is his relationship. And if he wants us to know, he will tell us. If he doesn't want us to know, then he won't, and we should not even pry. Second, let us concentrate on the achievements of BTS, because that's, we're fans of their music, we're fans of their careers, not of their personal lives. So let us stay within our lane, and our lane is their music, their art, their career, and that's where we should be. There are so many achievements out there, let's continue hyping them. And it's, I mean, for them, they've already been serving for more than a year, and they're still achieving new things, they're still setting records, both as a group and as individuals. There's a lot of things for us to hype, so let's concentrate on that, and let us not allow anybody to forget how powerful they are and how successful they are. Next, let's continue to stream. Let's stream on Spotify. Let's stream on Apple Music. Let's stream on Amazon Music. There are so many funding accounts on Twitter that are actually willing to fund your account for a month, for 2 months, if you are going to support certain members or support the group. Search for somebody that can fund your account if you don't have the budget for it for this month. They'll be more than willing to do it. Next, let us choose the creators and accounts that we're actually going to follow. I really don't feel good about what School of Music did. I get it. Again, from the beginning, I was trying to be objective. I said maybe this is actually his way of transitioning to becoming a legit journalist, and that's why he wanted to be objective. But I just feel that in this case, she was very open about the fact that she was planning on destroying Hybe, and you built your channel on armies and on BTS. So I felt like, just, I don't know, but that's just me. Maybe I'm just biased. But moving forward, let's be more conscious of who we're going to support, the creators that we're going to be follow, the posts that we're going to be hyping up. So just be mindful who these people are. I think we pretty much, a lot of us are very good judges of character. So let's make sure, use our gut. If it doesn't feel right to support a certain content creator that's hyping up BTS, then don't. Or you can just post your own, right? Or hype big hit or hype official posts. And the most important is that we need to live their message and share it and be loud about how they influence us for the better. So we can talk about them being kind and us being unkind, right? So if we say that they actually are influencing us to live a better life, then let's do that, right? And let's actually share it, that they inspired us to do this, or that they inspired us to be mindful of art, or be mindful of our actions, and then share it. That way, people will know that the power of BTS doesn't just end on charts or sales, it actually affects people. So, that is it. um, I will stop sharing, and then let's talk about this a bit before we go on to the next topic. I love living their message. She's aiming for the solo stance. I know, but on the other hand, I've mentioned this in the last live stream. I'll mention it again. I think there are certain accounts that are just following one members, right? So I'm not going to use the word solo so that you don't get confused, but people who just have a bias, and that was bound to happen because they were pursuing their solo careers. Of course, they're going to get new fans that are just their fans and not necessarily fans of other members. So I think those people are okay for as long as they don't say anything against other members. The one that is toxic would be a solo stand that is trying to badmouth other members. If they manage to get those, they are not a loss in the fandom because they're not helpful anyway, right? They're actually destructive to the fandom. And if you would observe, these people actually aren't really supporting BTS in all the ways that matter. They don't stream much, they don't buy much, they don't promote BTS much. So what is the loss even if she manages to get them? Let her get all the toxic fans. Let her have it. They're going to self-destruct anyway. So let them be. MHJ is scarily manipulative and devious. She's very, very manipulative, but I've always trust BTS. I know that they are very smart. They can see through people. I mean, they've been living this life for more than a decade. They've had their share. We know they've shared some of their struggles about how to trust people, how to find real friends. And I think they've also shared how they've gotten over it, how things are better now that they actually have solid friendships and solid relationships. So I think they will know. If there's anything else, if there is a big enemy for us, um, I mean, not really enemy, but the one thing that we need to get over is actually our own emotions. In our desire to try and protect BTS, sometimes we get too emotional that we don't focus on the right thing. That's why I'm saying let's just focus on BTS. Stream, hype their achievements, live their dreams. I mean, live their message. Adversary more than, yeah, correct. It's more an adversary, not an enemy. The only thing that could break Hybe is if BTS left. Correct. But I don't think they're gonna leave. I mean, if they are, it's going to take a long time. They've got a really good contract. The only thing that could, okay. I'm waiting for JK's dog's Instagram to start growling because you're yelling your heads off. Okay. If V can't use the phone while in the military, he might not even know MHJ said this. I think they're able to use it now. What I heard is that during the training, the initial training, they're not allowed to use the phone. That's what I was told. I don't know if that's accurate, but that was what I was told. Do we know why Bang PD went to see Suga? No. I mean, I'm assuming that he's seeing everybody one by one. That's just my assumption. I think he's just seeing everybody one by one. So I won't be surprised if he saw other people as well, all the other members as well. Engaging with haters, that's not correct. It doesn't you do you any good. So don't engage with haters. Block. If you're in social media, if you're in Twitter, just block them. Facebook, block them. Instagram, block them. YouTube, block them. Just don't engage. If she gets 18 million, 80, not 1 8, do you think she, with New Jeans, might? Oh, I think so. I think if she gets that money, she's definitely going to eventually leave Hybe. Right now, she can't because she is the board a board of director in Hybe, so there might be a non-compete clause, but that it's only 2 years. So I think after 2 years, she's going to put up her own. Just bought Jin single. Oh, perfect. Any opinion on they are saying that Hybe was using V and Jenny's rumors? V and Jenny's rumors? Okay, actually, someone asked me this already. I think it came from solos, specifically solos of Taeyong of V. Because as you know, for solos, it's always their favorite that is being aggrieved, that is being mistreated, that is being used. Um, the and I have always said this. I will just repeat what I said in the beginning. Their personal relationship should not be our concern. So if V dated Jenny, that is none of our business. We shouldn't even be concerned about it. The minute we hear something about it, whenever somebody tells me about their personal relationship, my immediate response is that number one, I do not care. Number two, it is none of my business. And number three, it is also none of your business. So it shouldn't even be talked about. If people don't care, then there's no loss on anybody, not on Jenny's part, not on V's part, not on anybody's part. So that should be the response. It shouldn't even matter. His relationship is his relationship. Leave him be. If you really care about V, you will leave his relationship alone. If enough people do not care about his relationship, nobody can use it against him. So that is my response. I don't care. It's none of my business, and it shouldn't be your business as well. So shut the F up because it's none of your business. Artists should have their own personal lives. Boundaries, people, boundaries. Yeah, I don't understand why people don't get that. They don't get that. That it's none of our business. So always remember that. If you don't care about it, then whatever Big Hit did, if ever they did that, has no bearing on anybody, right? Because nobody cares. So what you're going to expose the relationship, so go ahead and expose. It's none of our business. So it has no effect. You got people believing the 2000 pages are hating Hype. That's why I hope they shift to the US. We are usually happy for artists to find love, date, get married, etc. Why not? Exactly. I really hope that well, actually even now I'm hoping that they are happy in a relationship or in a I don't know, but some sort of an arrangement or something. I hope they're happy. I hope someone's taking care of them. I hope that someday they find their peace, whether it's with a partner or whether it is alone. I just want them happy. Let him date and don't bully them. He has the right to be happy. Correct. The best, if people are saying, oh, Big Hit did this, Big Hit did that on to Taeyong, exposed his relationship with Jenny. Great. I mean, great. I mean, if he's happy, if your reaction is that, then what power does that expose did? Right? Nothing. Because you're happy. You're actually happy for V. They're making it an issue. These people that are talking about it, they're making it an issue because they don't want V to date. So it is actually them that's the problem, not you. Right? Jimin will be a wonderful dad. He will be he's a wonderful son, I'm sure. I'm sure he's a wonderful brother. Obviously, he's a wonderful brother to the rest of BTS members. I'm sure he's going to be a wonderful husband and a wonderful dad if that is the choice that he makes. Oh, not the multiple GF. No, I don't want them to have multiple GF, yeah, or multiple relationships. So whatever they prefer, I don't really care. Fans should be happy that delusional stans leave. Correct, correct. I'm actually happy whenever a solo leaves the group, and if a solo actually claims that they are an army, it's not true because obviously you're an army if you love all seven of them. Te is also wonderful with kids. All of them are, right? I mean, I think all of them, they're because all of them have gentle souls. Stop the delulu that we own Bangtan. Correct. We do not own them. Leave them be. So if anybody raises that question again or that issue again that they were using, that Big Hit was using um, Jenny's relationship with V or whatever, your response should be, I don't care about it. It's none of her business. It should be your business either. And I'm happy wherever he's happy. If people see that you actually don't care, they're going to leave you alone. Countdown will start on January 2025. Oh, she's going to be wild. She's going to now, especially if the court actually does not reinstate the shareholders agreement, watch out because she's going to go berserk. She's going to go berserk. As I've said, don't I will not put it past her to actually get the families involved or friends of BTS, or if they're in relationships, their partners involved. They won't. She will not think twice about it, and if she can't find dirt, she's going to make one up. So be careful. If they're not dating, it would be really shocking. How can they be inspired if they don't have? Um, yeah, actually, I mean, even for my own nephews and my own nieces, if they're like of age, and I know my nieces and my nephews are good looking, kind, intelligent, so I expect someone is going to like them, right? So if they tell me, like, oh, I'm not really dating, I'm usually surprised. I'm not saying that they have to date, right? It's just that I expect it because that's just how things are. If you're Asian, you understand what I mean. So when they say I'm not dating, I'm usually surprised, like, you really are not dating? So and BTS, they're all good looking, kind, smart, successful, intelligent. Of course people are going to line up to date them. So she will mess with J-Hope's project for sure. She will mess with the launch of Jin's album, Happy, and then she's going to mess with J Hope's projects. And as we near June 2025, the wilder it's going to be. I really wouldn't put it past her to just make things up if she can't find anything. International armies don't care about them dating. Correct. I really don't care, quite honestly. I mean, I care in the sense that if somebody says, oh, they're dating, I'll probably be happy for them. So, caring in that sense, like, oh, great, that they're dating, somebody's taking care of them, they're happy. Perfect. That is the extent of me caring. But for me to make us an issue out of it, that I whatever. And if they break up or whatever, I mean, heartbreaks, that's part of life. So, you know, it's bound to happen. So hopefully they're going to grow from it, learn from it. Is it international army that doesn't like idols dating, or is it South Korea thing, especially to the point of sending funeral wreaths to get someone kicked out of the group? Correct. It's South Koreans. They are the ones that have a problem with it. I don't care. Hi, Elaine. Thank you, Elaine. Elaine said yes. So let's make that a mantra, okay? I will not put it past uh Min Heejin to expose like a dating scandal or whatever. When that happens, let's make a pact to unanimously say it is none of our effing business. We do not care if they're still together. We're happy for them. If they're not together, we hope that they'll find somebody else to be happy with forever. That should be our mantra. If anything like that happens, let's not pay attention to any of that. Like, let's just clap our hands. Great. They're dating. Perfect. I hope they last forever. Yes, I'm in. Let's make a pact, okay? Any dating scandal, that should be the mantra. None of our business. We do not care. Shouldn't be your business either. And if they're happy, perfect. We hope it lasts forever. if they have broken up, we hope that they'll find somebody else that will last forever this time. The emoticons don't let you clap. True. If she creates uh, a dating rumor, ignore her. But if she exposes a relationship, let's cheer for them. Yeah, yeah, let's cheer for them. I think that should be like the line. Like, number one, it's none of our business. We really don't care about their personal relationship. However, we're happy if they are happy. So if they're happy with this person, great. Congratulations. Make good music from experiences. Yes. Let's not forget MHJ already made up that Hybe offered her money to leave a door. Correct. She made up that. She probably made up some of the things that she said about V. So she's definitely not scared of lying. She can't wait fame, but she can't want fame, but not expect stalking. If it was true, then means aunties made them break up, which is sad. I don't think I don't know about Jenny. I don't know much about her. But V, I don't think he's the kind that would give in to like bullying or outside pressure. I think, I don't know. I may be wrong. I don't know them personally, but I think if he loves somebody, he's going to fight for that person, and I think he's going to make it clear to the person that he will fight for the relationship. But that's just me. I don't know. I don't know them personally. Again, I really wouldn't care. I just care that they're happy. Honestly, none of the artists that I've liked before, I've never cared about their personal lives, their relationship. I was a diehard fan of Linkin Park, never cared. Like, I just learned that Mike Shinoda was married 3 years ago. Mike Shinoda, the lead singer, the rapper, that it's like, oh, I hope he's married. Oh, great. I didn't know. I really don't care about relationships, really. I just want them to be happy. Genes to spread, yes. I want them, their DNA is premium, so they need to. We should prepare ourselves for BTS after military. They're coming back, zero F's together. Yeah. But I think more than relationships, I think if she's going to make up something, it's going to be like more um like dirtier. I think she's going to make up things about their family, that they've done illegal things or things like that. So be prepared for that. So believe in BTS only. The Jenny thing is so random. There literally is no basis to that made up story. It also does not make sense, by the way. And also, I kind of feel bad for Jenny because, I mean, I'm sure she has her own problems in her company. She's going through some things in her own career or maybe personal lives. So for her to be dragged into this when she's not really involved, I feel bad for her. Leave her alone. Leave the girl alone. Let her do her thing. Leave her alone. I wish all seven members were my grandson. V is dating with music. Amen to that. Perhaps the stalker is in her mind, or people she owes money or favors to. I just like that they're music. Okay. She will hit the emotions to get the biggest impact. They are adults. They should grow and be happy. Correct. Yeah. So that's another thing. I mean, don't be scared to stand up for other people as well. Jenny is getting dragged. I don't know much about her, really. So, but I feel bad for her that she's getting dragged and her name is getting used here when she's not doing anything. She's just doing her own music. Leave the girl alone. Anybody says that rumor to you, tell them those things, that you don't care, that is none of your business. It is also none of their business. And fourth, leave Jenny alone. That doesn't have anything to do with this. BTS and Army still don't exist. Do we all care who date our favorite? Or I don't care. Ed Sheeran dated. If Maroon 5 or Ed Sheeran dated. Correct. Jenny in and V would be a cute couple. They'd be a cute couple. Anybody who dates V will be cute because V is cute. So the cuteness will spill over to the partner. Solos and shippers are the ones who think BTS members should be their partner. That is my theory. That is my theory. That's why I think they just want to ship the members with the other members because they can't stand the thought of their bias dating somebody else that is not them. Okay. I mean, they were ambassador for the same brand. Of course, you would see V around the same place she was, right? What were they ambassador of what? What did they have in common? Okay, let's move on to the next topic. Yes, true. Real armies for OT7. Okay, just one of the things that I've been observing um about this the K-pop, the new ciphers in the air. I think there's going to be like cipher 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 in our future. The fandom don't know the difference. What is the truth or a lie? Um, okay, so the let's talk about other things. One of the things that I've been observing about K-pop nowadays is that there is so much emphasis. They are really glamorizing idols who are writing their own music, and that I think should be commended, because I don't know if you know this, but once upon a time, um, idols actually don't do anything but perform the materials that were given to them. So there are very, very few idols that were writing their own materials or who had a hand on writing their own materials. A lot of people are saying that this new trend is inspired by BTS, because BTS actually co-wrote all of their almost 100% of their discography. As we know, it was only Dynamite and Permission to Dance, which they did not co-write, but it was actually their decision to not co-write it. So, but everything else they co-wrote. And so ever since that, because Army has been so proud of that fact, a lot of armies were actually using that against other artists, that they're not writing their own songs, that they're just puppets, manufactured celebrities, they're not really artists. But the truth is that in K-pop, it's actually very common for artists to not write their own songs or to not have any contribution. So from Girls' Generation, TVXQ, of course, 21, I don't know if you know this, but CL was the only one who contributed some of the songs, very few songs. She started writing her own material after they went on hiatus. Okay. Even 2PM, it was actually later on that they started participating in the writing of their own materials. It was YG who set the trend of bringing in artists, not just idols. And his very first project was actually G Dragon. In the first album, GD didn't actually write much. It was, I think, in the second that he started participating. And then Yang Yang Sok actually started packaging him as the artist among idols. So for him, that's how he packaged Big Bang, the artist among idols. Now, after that, many more idols started participating in the writing of their materials. Ravi, for now, is the idol with the most number of writing credits in Comca, 239, followed closely by RM, 238, and I think by their next comeback, or maybe they already wrote something that will be credited to them, and then he's going to take over the number one spot. And then there's Suga, J-Hope, and others. Okay, and then as we all know, the vocal line is also starting to write their own materials. All right. For female artists, Moonbyul is actually the one with the most number of credits with 114. So she has basically written all of her rap lines, her rap in all of their songs, participated in the creation or production of songs of other idols, her own music, and she also participated in the composition. So among the members of Mamamoo, she's actually the one um, that is more the most prolific in writing. Okay, now I don't know if you know this, but a lot Go Moonbyul. Yeah, I know, right? Solar though is my favorite in Mama Moon. So they're my second favorite girl group. My favorite member is Solar, and then Moonbyul. Okay, but I don't know if you know this, but in the US, there's actually a lot of celebrities that take credit for songs that they didn't write. Last year, there were a lot of, sorry, 3 years ago, 2021. there were several songwriters who started talking about this, and they were basically asking celebrities to stop getting credits for songs that they didn't write. This is a very common practice in the US. A lot of famous celebrities can actually put their name in the writing credits even though they didn't contribute anything to it. So many of the songwriters, naturally, if their name is on the songwriting credits, they will also get a cut of the royalty for songwriters. And so that takes away from the income of the actual songwriters. So many songwriters actually came in, stepped forward, and started talking about this. So as you can see, the songwriters, these songwriters were actually writing for some of the biggest names in Hollywood, like Khaled, Ariana Grande, Beyonce, Taylor Swift. So they were really talking about it. They're saying, stop doing that. A lot of these big names will not accept your song unless they actually put their name on the songwriting, as a producer, as a composer or co-producer. So they were actually starting to fight back the actual songwriters. Now, the question is, why is it such a big deal aside from money? Why is it such a big deal for them to get writing credits? As you know, when you get to the level of Taylor Swift and Beyonce, what does it even matter? I mean, right at that when you're that rich, couple of millions won't matter to you. So why get writing credits? Okay, for us to understand how it started, I'll give you a clue. It actually has a connection to prostitution. But for us to understand this, we need to go back to 1679. So I would pause and let you get food and water because we're going to be here a while. I'm kidding. I'm going to make this as fast as I could. Okay. So it began in 1679. That time, at that time, and pop was actually opera. All right. Yeah, history lesson, a little history lesson. It's going to be fast. So it was actually, remember that the definition of pop is popular, right? That's where the term came from, popular. So whatever is popular changes in different generations, different times, different yearly, it actually changes. So at that time, pop was actually opera. And apparently, the very first opera was written by Alessandro Scarlatti, 1679. 16, I didn't like it. Yeah, so he was the first one who started writing opera, and so he would perform it on stage, of course, because they didn't have television at that time. He would perform it live, so he was the center. I don't know if you have seen like an opera performance, but he would be in the center conducting the group, the musicians. Okay, so he was the who created the song, was the center of attention. Okay, you're getting food now. Okay, and water. Maybe two servings will be good because this is 1600s. All right. So, however, as always, it was the young people who actually rebelled. Somewhere between 1600s to 1900s, the young people got bored. They got bored, as young people always do. They always mess things up just because they're bored, and they were like, this all what we're going to be doing? We're just going to sit down and listen to this. Oh, so boring. All right. So they started dancing. And that's how disco started. Beta version. All right. Remember, this is 1700s. Dance halls started in Germany. Some of the most popular dance halls was, I don't know how to pronounce these things. Babalu is one thing, Clark Kent's Bauhaus or whatever. Okay, so but that the dance hall started, all right. And usually the dances that they used were couple oriented, and because remember 1700s, so this they were very very conservative, having a man and a woman dance together with them bouncing around, that's actually very very scandalous for them. So this was their rebellion. So polka actually became the new pop. You know, the dance polka, that was the new pop during that time. All right, so very couple oriented, and they would do this in dance halls. Old people stayed in opera. All right, now around 1700, Paris developed variety shows by fusing comedy, theater, and dances. that's what we now know as variety show. And as we know, it still stands today. Like all variety shows that we know has comedy, they have live performances, and they have musical performances. All right. So that's how it started. Now it became the new pop, right? The quality of the art became secondary and it all became about entertainment. Okay. Do you have questions so far? All right, it all became entertainment. Art became secondary. All right, so they were selling shows to the general public or the mainstream public, and they, of course, for them to sell, because this is live shows, for them to sell, they needed the songs to be simple, catchy, something people can sing to and make people feel light and jolly, which opposes the discipline of opera, which was supposed to be uptight, very, very formal. But that's what you get when you are catering to young people. It has to be entertaining. Now, the disadvantage is that the composers of the music, the creators and the directors took a back seat. So it was all about these performers and not the creators of music, right? So now we're approaching that trend where the creators of the music took a back seat and the performers actually started becoming the main attraction. All right. Now, elites, of course, didn't like that. They don't like dance halls, they don't like variety shows. And that's how cabaret started in Paris. I don't know if you're going to believe this, but cabaret actually used to be for artists. So while dance halls and variety shows were for pop and mainstream audience, cabaret used to be for artists. So if you really want to express your artistry, grow your art, you go to cabaret. Okay. Good night, team spirit. Good night. All right. Then there were a lot of weirdness in this cabarets, but the thing is that as many more cabaret started, more stores and shops, dance not theaters, as more theaters actually put up, they had to, of course, compete with each other. So even though it was meant for artists, they had to evolve in order to compete. So even though they wanted to advance artistry, they also had to compromise in order to keep to keep themselves running, in order to keep the venue or the location running. And so quality dipped, and so it all became about performers, it all became about sexuality. Again, the artistry took a back seat. All right. Now, this is right around the time, about 1889, Moulin Rouge. I'm sure that you're very familiar with the show. This is the beginning of Moulin Rouge. So it was all about sex. Well, not sex, but it was all about sexy performers. It was all about seduction. So the owners of the dance halls or the Moulin Rouge, they looked for people with good singing voices, and of course, they had to be good looking. And the main objective of the show was to actually to sell, not necessarily to grow the art. They just wanted to sell. Okay. Now, while that was happening, um, so yeah, they started selling sex appeal, and someone else has to write the music while the attractive performers were the ones taking the center stage. And they had to continue making it sexier and sexier and sexier for them to continue competing with other cabarets or other venues. Meanwhile, in the US, Thomas Edison invented the phonograph around 1877. And the main thing that it was used for was for communication and then for music. And so the very first music labels came to be, and that was RCA, EMI, CBS Records. So at that time, they were still selling songs that were written by somebody else and sang, but yeah, can and sang by somebody else, right? But they were also performing the shows live, because they didn't have TV at that time. They were still singing, they were still performing the songs live. And so they still had to make they still had to make the actors or the singers very, very attractive. So the practice continued that the singers have to be pretty, and then the songwriters don't have to appear. So they just had to give their songs and then someone else will sing it. And as you know, during the Moulin Rouge cabaret, as a lot of these singers and performers became prettier and prettier, a lot of the bourgeoisie actually started flocking to these venues, not necessarily to watch, but to, you know, they were after the singers and the performers. So they were paying for sex. So it became from being a place of art, it became a place of prostitution. That's where it started. That is why a lot of people don't like the stigma of singers not writing their songs remain, because it has its roots to hundreds of years ago. All right. Now, it continued where many of the singers actually um, didn't write their own songs. They were just performing what others actually wrote, until I realized I wasn't sharing with you guys. Too late. But until Beatles actually came about. Well, first it was Elvis and then it was Beatles. So they were the ones. Elvis started writing his music and Beatles started writing their own music and refused to perform somebody else's music. And so that is why they are known to be the revolutionaries, the ones that actually changed the music industry. But that is the root of why a lot of people, a lot of performers nowadays, a lot of singers don't like it when they are being branded a puppet, just singers and not songwriters. That's where it started. Okay. As I said, I was actually supposed to share my screen with you. I realized that I wasn't actually wasn't sharing my screen with you, but these are some of the things I was supposed to show you. Um, this is Alessandro Scarletti. He is the very first opera composer. And then this is the polka, so the ancient dance that became the new pop. So this is the development of the variety shows, the cabaret, and then initially it was for artists, yeah. And then Moulin Rouge. Okay, so I think they came back at the wrong time. When did it get to prostitution? I must have missed a lot during the cabaret era. So here, when so from dance halls when Germans started, the youth of Germany started coming together to rebel against opera. Eventually it became variety shows, a fusion of comedy, dance, and theater. And then it just became grander and grander as more dance halls came about. Of course they needed to compete, so they started putting on shows, right? And they became sexier and sexier and sexier. Now a lot of people don't like, especially the elites, they don't like it, and so they started creating cabarets. And cabarets was initially for artists, but then as more cabarets came about, competition started, they needed to sell the shows, so they started making their shows sexier and sexier. And then Moulin Rouge was invented. Well, that was a they opened, Moulin Rouge opened, and it was a grand performance every night, and a lot of even sexier women were performing. Naturally it attracted a lot of elite men. Initially they were there to watch, and then eventually they were there to pay for something else. The Battle of the Sex. Moulin Rouge was before Cabaret, I'm pretty sure. Writer, yeah, that is so the what we know now as Cabaret is different from the Cabaret they had before. So remember, it started as dance halls, right? Dance halls first, and then dance halls evolved. It developed Moulin Rouge, Cabaret. So The art of how to deliver the sexy. Just join now. Which shows has Jin been in? Johnny Cash, the Beatles, and Elvis also did covers. They did, but one of the things that they are known for is their refusal to just do covers. Remember, like during the time of the Supremes or whatever, they were just given songs. So when Elvis came about, which I don't know if you know this, it was an accident. The DJ, so Elvis recorded a song, and then a DJ heard him recording, played it on his show. A lot of people asked for it, and that's how his fame started. And then he started appearing on different concerts, different shows. He was actually branded a son of Satan. He was supposed to be the Antichrist because they were so, him moving his hips was very very scandalous for them. After him, he was actually the one who inspired the Beatles. So he was the idol of the Beatles. So from there, the Beatles, of course, wrote their own songs. They refused to sing the songs of other people, although they did covers, but primarily they were singing their own songs. But that is how the stigma against singers who don't write their own songs started. It all started from cabaret. Black singers were writing their songs. Elvis wrote but took the style from their creators. Star Baby, I don't want to get into that. I've heard about it. I don't have any proof, so I don't want to comment because I don't have enough research to prove or dispute that. Even the dance from the black creators, I don't know. I don't have any proof. I don't have enough research materials. I don't want to disrespect Elvis. I don't want to disrespect the black community. So I'm just not going to talk about it because I don't know. I don't know enough. I don't want to talk about something that I don't know enough about. They started covering songs and evolved into writing their own. Before, yes, so the Beatles were covering songs when they were traveling Germany or whatever. They were also writing their own songs already. When they first had their recording contract, they started singing their own songs. Buddy Holly also wrote his own songs and was one of the first as well, right? Mulan was one of the first cabarets on October 6, 1889. So that, but basically that's how it all started. That's how the history, that's why a lot of singers, that's where the stigma of singers not writing their own songs came about. However, the thing is that I'm also not saying that all songwriters, all performers, all singers must write their own songs, because I mean, there are a lot of composers who don't want to perform. They just want to write music. You need to give them a chance to be able to put their work out there, right? There's a lot of songwriters like that, and we can take that away from them. At the same time, I mean, there are a lot of great artists like Whitney Houston, for example, who don't write her own songs, but by God, she was born to sing, right? She was born to sing. I think that was when she was given that voice. When you're given a talent like that, I feel like to a certain extent, you gotta let other people hear it. So she was born to sing, and she's not no less of an artist because she interpreted those songs well. So I'm not saying that. In fact, my argument nowadays would be that just because you have a songwriting credit doesn't mean that the song is good. Just because it was the idol who wrote it, or his name or her name is stamped on the songwriting credits, doesn't make the song good. That it almost is the prestige of being a songwriter is being degraded, because idols are just coming up with whatever, and they feel like, okay, I'm an artist, I'm a higher level of artist now because I'm a songwriter as well. It has to be good. There are a lot of self-produced, self-written songs that I feel like should have actually been given to a professional, and they should just perform. So, so just I just feel bad that people are bastardizing this self-written or self-produced credit. Sia started as a ghostwriter for many pop stars. Absolutely true in that. Okay. Casey and the Sunshine Band equals disco. Harry and Richard wrote all of their songs, but several other band members helped. Didn't get credit on the album. Still a big mess to this day. Bibby, okay, thanks for the correction. It's a similar show, though. Very, very few of them are worth listening to. Music is for everyone, and anyone can use any instrument and sound. Elvis grew up poor and lived and worked around block people. And so, yes, he was influenced by that music. There's nothing wrong with that. It was his life. Yeah. Again, I don't know much. I don't know enough about it to talk about it. Um, yeah. So I don't want to respect anybody, certainly not the black community, certainly not Elvis. So I'm just not going to talk about it because I don't know much about that part of the accusation against him. Does BTS know what's going on out here? Most likely. I mean, let's not underestimate. They have a lot at stake with Big Hit as a company. They are not just there as performers. They're not just there as singers. They have a stake there. And Hybe as well. We know that they are part owners of Hybe. They are shareholders. They built that company. They're very, very aware of it. So I know that they know about it. V, JK, and Suga just greeting each other for Halloween. They are shareholders as well. Yeah, they are. Is BTS under the original 7-year contract, or did they renew before they went into the military? They have renewed the second time. So initially it was the 7 years before it even expired. They renewed, and before that, way before the second one expired, they renewed again. And I think the second one is going to be longer. The second renewal is actually going to be longer. They have renewed their contract. Yeah, combined BTS is the fifth largest shareholder, more than other CEOs combined. They are smart, very, very smart. They are a 10-year contract. So actually, okay, so the reason I actually went through this history of songwriting and whatever, because I think it's very important for us as well as armies to emphasize the quality of the writing of BTS. um I'm not saying, as an audience, as a fan, I like going into the lyrics, melody, lyrics first, melody, and then beat. That's what actually attracts me to the music, to someone's music. But it doesn't mean that just because it's not talking. I mean, there are songs like Black Swan or Dionysus that are just talking about like high level subjects, right? Very philosophical. But then there are also songs like the Beatles themselves wrote "I Am the Walrus," for example, which was just a bunch of words put together. That doesn't really mean anything, and they said that it doesn't really mean anything. And the same way BTS did Dynamite. It's just a wordplay. It was just really about having fun and partying and painting the town red. So I like those songs as well. But overall, one of the strengths of BTS is the fact that they can write substance. And that is something that we need to pound on. And we don't usually, there's very few people that are really talking about it. Not very few, but it doesn't get enough attention as much as their sales records. It's all about getting to Billboard Hot 100, or. But if you put their quality of writing against others, there's really hardly anybody that can compete. So I think that's one of the things that we should emphasize, that they can actually write substance. Just One Day remains your favorite. RMIG was removed so fast, I don't think anyone knows. Sean of So Light might have read it. BTS lyrics are poetry. Me too. Some BTS lyrics are like a mystery to me. Personally, I don't think V would be too open that way. MHJ is also the biggest liar in the world, so she could have just lied about that as well. Believe only BTS. Yes, believe only BTS. Um, Mind and mood. I hope so. Okay. Stream Hegum Suga, get all the royalty. Right. Actually, any songs where they participated in the writing, they will obviously get more royalty than just being the singers. RM is a poet by soul. Suga is top tier producer too. I love BTS songs because of the lyrics and music. She's searching for drama. Min Heejin is searching for drama. Guys, did you see Jason the Ween protesting to free NHJ? Oh, is that the guy like holding up the sign in front of Hybe? If MHJ says the sky is blue, I'll question because it isn't blue. Yeah, I'll have faith in V. Okay, I agree and I absolutely love Hegum. That streamer. Yeah, I saw that picture. It was funny. I mean, um, I actually pity them more than anything because I feel like your favorite artist should inspire you to do more, to do good things, and to become a better version of you. If all they're making you do is become distractive, um, get stuck in that little hole of yours, then most likely they aren't really your number one. It's that they aren't good. They're not putting enough good message out there for you to not be influenced. And second, maybe there's really just something wrong with you, that it's not really the music that you're admiring. It's just that you just have an obsessive personality, and you happen to have been obsessed with them. So I kind of feel bad for them. He even talked about shooting up Hab. Oh my god. There's a space for happy bops, but if that's all you do, it gets boring long term. Right. Correct. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, as we know, Mic Drop, when they wrote it, it wasn't really. It was just they got inspired by the former president, Obama. The last speech of the former president, Barack Obama. They got so inspired by that. And so they wanted to create something similar to that. But it doesn't have like highfalutin message. It was something fun. So, and those are okay. I mean, Dynamite is okay, Butter is okay. I love those songs. But if the only thing that they release are songs like that, I probably will lose interest. Did you know One OK Rock is performing in London? I know they are on tour. I'm attracted to the beat first, then the lyrics. I mean, yeah, if I'm not, I could be like, I could find a beat very interesting, but for me to actually really like the song, there has to be some substance in there. I loved Casey and the Sunshine Band. I am Korean. Min Heejin is using a BTS and has put V in trouble. Can MHJ be sued for harassment? If so, V will be the one to do it. Um, she can be, if she lied and it actually destroys the reputation of V, then V can sue. Who talked about shooting up Hybe? The If you have seen the guy that was like holding up a sign in front of Hybe saying "Free New Jeans," apparently that guy is a streamer, and he's talking about, according to one of you, he's talking about shooting Hybe. V will sue and get more snack money. He doesn't need any more snack. He has enough money. Believe me. Mic Drop was a diss track to the haters, I thought. Kinda. But I mean, it's not like it was just them talking about their achievements. If you look at the lyrics, it was just like I have a lot of awards and whatever. So it was not really a diss track. It's more like they're teasing others by going through their achievements. Very much like the speech of Barack Obama. I don't know if you listened to his very last speech, but it was very badass. Like he was talking about his achievements and whatever. And then the last line was like mic drop. And he actually dropped the mic. So it was something like that. It was a diss to haters in the sense that they were highlighting their achievements, but it wasn't like he was talking about how bad those people were. Actually, Idol made me cry at first, and Blue and Gray, and Still the Best. I worked for KC for so many years until I couldn't anymore. Thank you, people who make threats like that should be sued for or something. They should be sued. Can MHJ be sued with libel? With her lies. She can be sued if she creates tangible damage. I love dancing. Like for example, if somebody actually files a complaint against V and he gets dragged into military court, then they can sue if what she said isn't true. MHJ vaguely insinuates that V is checking in on her, yet once again, there is no proof. This charade is carefully designed to plant seeds of sympathy and doubt. Don't fall for it. Right. Believe in BTS and BTS only. Might drop is Suga's lyrics for the haters and keeps putting BTS down. Blue and Gray was beautifully written and sang. That was great info. I didn't know about Mic Drop. I always thought it was a song for haters. It was. It was a song in general, like, but they were try to watch the last speech of Barack Obama before he stepped down. It's very much similar. So he was dissing by actually talking about his success. Like, you can't do what I did, something like that. And these are the things that I did. But he wasn't dissing in the traditional hip hop kind of diss where you're actually talking about the other person and how much they suck. MHJ has already 10 plus lawsuits. She's on a lawsuit hunt. Okay. Min Heejin says she's worried about new jeans only through media, but she's not going to work. I want lesser of him, I'll it and hypen, Cat's Eye, and all other hype groups to succeed so bad just to drown out MHJ shenanigans. And talking about new jeans, so they're going to be performing in the uh, MTV VMA. Have you heard? They're going to perform in MTV VMAs. I want to get your opinion. Why do you think they click? What's making them click in the West? And do you think it's going to continue? Like, do you think they're going to go further? It is less riffing. Oh, so they'll win. Maybe they'll win. I don't know. In US, no. Europe, EVMA. I'm guessing they're going to be invited next year. MHJ is worried because people were like following her. Isn't that what she wanted? They have good songs. No, and will definitely not watch it. The problem is it's too easy to make free screenshots of texts. What can BTS contract contain regarding songwriting and publishing? Good for them. Oh, you meant Les Seraphim, not New Jeans. Yeah, Les Seraphim. They're performing in MTV VMA Europe. Their sound is more Western. Actually, it's one of the things that I realized in their last comeback. Uh, that they have apparently now I'm realizing that they've always been geared for the Western market. But they're also very prolific. I don't know if you listen to their songs, but if you listen to all of their albums, it's so prolific. Like they have different sounds in each album. If you want to check them out, I would suggest starting with the second, the before this one, start with that and then go to the latest album that they have. But those two albums will give you a good idea on the range that they have in terms of music. Many of the songs that they have released, I feel like had they sang this in English and had it been supported correctly by a US label, they would have been hits. I love the B-sides of Les Sarah. Their target seems to be the Western market, but it seems to fit well in K-pop space, allowing them to be regular K-pop audience. I don't know if they have enough pull in K-pop though. I feel that they definitely are for a good fit to the Western market, especially because they are great performers. I don't know if you have noticed this, but a lot of Western performers actually prioritize their vocals more than the performance. So once they start dancing, they actually stop singing. And once they start singing, they stop dancing. Usually, when they're dancing, they just do the to make it appear as if they're singing. But Les Seraphim is actually really great, they are great performers. They are great in live singing. So much so that people convinced haters convinced other people that they suck in live singing, even though they're not. But that's another thing about them. If you watch their Coachella performance, oh my god, like that is one of the best of all time, truly one of the best of all time. And then the other thing is that I love their substance. The apparently this is how I learned about the process of Bang Shio for real. Like I know that this is his template when he's working with a group. What he will do is actually sit down with the group and make the group talk to him about their story, the things that they want to talk about, and then from there build a story. We know, I think, the thing is that when he started with BTS already had their own story, right? So that they have always been the exemption. But with the new groups, he sort of has to guide the group in forming that story by talking with them, getting their like thoughts, and then from there build a story and build their discography. So many of the songs of La Seraphim, is built on their own emotions, like their own thoughts. And that's one of the reasons I really love them. Oh yeah, the documentaries of Les Seraphim. If you have time, please watch it. Does Bang write any of late? Yes. So I think in the first and second album, he was more involved. He was like producing at least half of the album. He's getting less involved, and that has always been like his, that, we know that, right? Like once he establishes a group, he starts pulling back and allowing the group to run their own show. So it seems that that is what he's doing with Les Seraphim, because Les Seraphim is starting to build their own narrative. They're starting to come on their own creatively. They're starting to write as well, so he's pulling back too. I realize that most of the producers do that. Enha mentioned it many times. No, it's actually not a lot. Most of producers and composers in K-pop, they just write and then they give it to the group to sing it. So it's very, very rare that the producers will actually bother sitting down with the group and actually get their thoughts. So if you watch the documentary of Jimin, for example, the entire Who theme was his, right? The entire idea, that was his story. He told the producer what he wanted, and then the producer and the composer just wrote it. But those are his thoughts. That's rare because most of the time the song is done and they'll just give it to the group. He did the same thing with BTS. A little, but BTS already had their own story. Like they already knew what they wanted to write about. BTS is always the exception. But for other groups that he would start with, they aren't quite sure who they are creatively. So he has to guide them on how to build their own identity. I really like Bang PD's style that he lets go when he knows the artist is ready. There is growth in that. Correct. Correct. And I hope that more producers are actually going to do that. I saw somebody asking if I like Juno. Yes, I like Juno of 2 p.m. He's my favorite member of 2 p.m. It's sad K-pop fans try to twist Le Seraphim's message and used it against them like they were supposed to change the world already. They're just getting started. We are raw. Yeah, that is just natural. There are very few artists who, actually very few people who dare to dream, and I think it all starts with a dream, right? So I think they should be praised for what they wanted to do. Second is, I would just suggest, if you want to start supporting Les Seraphim or any artist for that matter, support them the same way you're going to support BTS. Concentrate on their music and not pay attention to the noise. And somebody's talking about them, don't pay attention. Ignore, block, and just hype their work. That's the best way to support the group. That's how you will get your message across. Teddy and Blackpink. Teddy just has songs and then he gives it to Blackpink. We know that because Blackpink said that in one of the interviews that he will just, they already have a lot of songs. He will just give it to them. They'll be sitting at the back and he will do his thing and they'll be coached on how to sing it. Jimin's influenced BTS choreographers so beautiful seeing dance. Don't give them your time and headspace. They aren't worth it. Please focus what really matters, supporting and loving BTS. Correct. Itzy's Imaginary Friend might be the best song they've ever done. If they keep going that direction, they're going to do well. Right. Warren, do you like Itzy? I love them. I love Itzy. There's so much craziness and negativity about hype groups. Right now, I just tune it out. Yes, that is the best way. Block. Use the block button. Facebook. If you don't have to be on social media. You can just keep on streaming and buying and watching their content. I did have a life before BTS and Juno in red leather pants. BTS paved the way. Um, I heard, when did I watched one of their documentaries? So you remember before like in the early years of 2 p.m., the leader was actually Jay Park, right? And then when he left because of all the scandal and whatever, I heard one of them say like it has always been actually Juno who sort of was really performing the task of a leader. I don't remember where I watched that, but I just remember watching it. I've been blocking people left and right. I've been sticking to spaces I know are less toxic. Oh my God, I have like thousands probably by now blocked. I just don't, I have no time for them. Hybe offered Min Heejin the New Jeans concert, the best World Cup stadium concert in Korea, which can accommodate 50,000 people, but she refused. Yeah. Have you read Sung Kwan's Instagram statement? I have not. Living sweetly, I believe that as well. It's a pity Hyde cannot silence this dirty snake. If I remember, Hypen is always encouraged to write, and they did amazing on Highway 1009. I started listening to I'll It purely because of all the chaos going on, and I really like them. Still hardcore army though. I love I'll It's lore. Haven't If you want to just get a glimpse of their lore, the universe that they are establishing, I have a video on that. I talked about like the backstory, where they are headed, the superpowers, the existence of the real personality of the artist alongside the characters that they are created, which is going to be a first. I think in K-pop in general. So the darkness, like I've always been in love with dark fantasy, and that's where they are headed. So I love it. I listened to the new song of Eyelit because of the hate, but it's not my taste. The song is good, but not for me. That's okay. The recent short film was beautiful. Ah, I love that. I hope Hype does not require to buy albums to buy BTS live streams 2025. Thanks to the drama with New Jeans, I fell in love with Alien. You like the new 50-50? I am supporting new 50-50 because there are two members who were a member of Are You Next. So Are You Next is the reality show that formed I'll It, and there are a lot of talented girls there. It's just that it's I'll It is not their group. That's just the truth of it. But it doesn't make them any less talented. And so for I'll It, and so for there are two members in 50-50 that were from Are You Next. So I'm supporting them. When most people work for a company, they get in trouble for running their mouth about a company business. How does MHJ get away with it? Because they have because Hybe has to play politics now. If they go on a word war against them, against her, then it's probably going to be used against Hybe, because as we know in South Korea, the public sentiment affects regulations and even the court. Checked out a lot of Eyelid's videos too, ever since he touched on their lore, and I love it. I know I support them as well. I will continue talking about their lore. It's just really so beautiful. Song Kwan's message is being misinterpreted, in my opinion. What is his message? I listened to BTS and IU, who is the singer with RM on Wildflower. Oh, she's a like a veteran singer. Since finding BTS, I can't listen to American artists. There are some good American artists. Come on. I don't really block people because I don't want to annihilate anyone, but if they are extreme, I do block. I just block. I just block. If I know that they're toxic, I won't even think twice. My rule of thumb is, no matter who you are, no matter who you support, if you are verbally abusive, then I just block you. I will not allow anybody in my space who is verbally abusive. I just can't. I'm not the type that will allow myself to be abused. So if I know you're not, you know, I just no. I curate my social media ruthlessly. That should be the way. That should be the way. Don't allow anybody that is verbally abusive in your space. That is just don't even get into it, because this manipulative people, you don't even know that they are manipulating you. Before you know it, you're just accepting whatever it is that they say, no matter how disrespectful it is. So Sungkwan spoke against hate from fans, and the artists suffer because of it, but some people say it's a jab at Hybe. They're going to twist anything to make it appear as if Hybe's own artists are going against them. Even when BTS comes back, they say something, people are going to say BTS is actually saying something against Big Hit or Hybe or whatever. I don't engage in negativity. That is how it's supposed to be. I'm only on YouTube and Weverse. I can't handle social media through the voice post. On Instagram, often I am tempted. I go on Twitter to block crap on my page. Can I ask what Bang PD Nim did to V? Nothing. V is in the military. What can Bang PD do? BTS have become what is that? Haya. There's just solos saying that just to answer your question. So there are solos that are spreading some rumors that Big Hit exposed the relationship of or set up the relationship of Jenny and V to it's wild. I mean that someone actually wrote me the complete story. So that they used it in order to protect the other members and to um, direct all the hate towards V so that the other members won't be hated. That's the gist of it. So that's what they're saying. Totally crazy. Is CEO Bang now? No, he's not the CEO of Bang of of Big Hit. He's not the CEO of Big Hit, and he's not the CEO of Hybe either. Have you watched the recent Boris City video? No, I don't watch her. I don't have anything against her. I'm very supportive of her because I hear her a lot from you guys. I just don't wanna. I don't want to. I mean, I. It seems that she's so good at what she does. I don't want to feel insecure, so I don't watch her. But I'm very supportive of her. Hi Boy, because I also hear about him a lot, and So Light TV. So I'm cheering for them. I just don't watch them, but I'm very much supportive of them. Solos are sometimes scary. Bang is chairman of the board, right? He is the chairman of the board of Hybe, not the CEO of Big Hit, and certainly not the CEO of Adore. Not the CEO of Hybe either. I like High Boy too. Great. Yeah, I heard that they are doing a lot of good things for the community, so I'm very, very supportive of him. Let's not condemn Hybe for the wrongdoings of the few. I got confused. I knew that. Okay. Last thing that I want to do, I don't know if you are a follower of my Patreon, but if you are, you would know that I give away books that uh, every 2 weeks. So I give them a copy of the book of a book that I like and have read, and then in exchange, I also make donations. The last book that I gave them was Almond, and this was a book that was recommended by not recommended, but Suga and RM actually read this when they were during the last in the soup. They were actually seen reading this book, and that's how I learned about the book, and that's why I decided to pick it up. It's just the main character is just a very, very interesting character. His name is Yoonjae. Yoonjae is the name. So it's from a Korean author, and he has a brain defect that prevents him from feeling emotions. So he does not feel pain, he does not feel sadness, he does not feel fear. He also does not feel happiness or love. He just doesn't feel anything. So books, yeah, I give away books. Yes, Bellatrix. So I will buy it right now. I might cry. Are you a member of my Patreon? If you are, I give it away for free, and you can still download it if you if you go to Patreon. So this is actually when I read this, I realized that Amygdala, the song of Suga, was that maybe this is where he got the idea of the amygdala, because they're saying that that is the brain, that's part of his brain that is not functioning well. That is why he is unable to feel emotions. I have Almond on my Amazon wish list. Mary, if you are a member of my Patreon, I give away books every 2 weeks because I'm a book lover, and as part of what I love, a part of the thing that I want to share is Asian authors and Asian books. So I give it away for free. So if you're a member of my Patreon, just go there and you can download it. So amygdala, as Sheen was, he was eating almonds. So Suga is the inspiration. Or yes. So I feel that this is his. He's never said that directly, but he was seen reading it. And I'm gonna sneeze. So um, so there is I just find the bless you, thank you. I just find the character very, very interesting because he does not feel any kind of emotion. And so that has actually saved him from grief. I'm going to say um, a spoiler. So you might want to mute me now if you don't want to know the spoiler. Amygdala lyrics is the next to go in my leather jacket. Oh, correct? By Explorer. So I'm going to say a spoiler. I'm just delaying it so that you have time to actually put me on mute. Okay, so he does not feel emotions, and that has sort of saved him from a lot of grief. His parents actually died in front of him, and he didn't feel sad because he's not capable of feeling any kind of emotion. So I found it very interesting because one of the questions that the book is actually posing without actually really asking the question is, would you want, if it will save you from feeling pain and sadness and despair and misery, will you be willing to give up feeling happiness and love? So that was, I thought, was like one of the I like an aha moment to me when I read the book. Like, will I be, if it saves me from feeling sadness and pain and despair, disappointments, broken hearts, will I ever give up the feeling of love and happiness and joy? So, like, will you, what about you? Will you be willing? So, that's one question. And then the other question is, then does that mean that pain, the possibility of broken hearts, of pain, of misery, of sadness, all of those are prerequisites to peace and happiness and love and joy and all of those things, right? So we learn from the bad things in life. As RM says, you can't have the joy without the sadness. True. Yeah. But that's like, right? Like, it's like one of the things when we go through like difficult things in life, that's one of the most common things that people ask, like, why me? Why do I have to go through this? And like, but then we don't really think about the fact that, well, if you don't go through this, then you're not going to have the other thing. So I hope that you guys get to read the novel. As I've said, if you're a member of my Patreon, you can actually download this for free. It's a beautiful book, but it's one of those questions in life. And it's also going to inspire you to sort of learn. It will teach you how to honor pain and honor sadness, right? So because you will realize that without that, then you don't get the other thing, you don't get the other side. So I hope that you guys read it. It's a really, really beautiful book. It's an easy read. You can probably finish it in one day, half a day maybe. so I hope you pick up the book. I understand now why he cried so much at the Soul concert. I've asked myself that before. Without the pain, you won't know happiness or what it's like to live. Amygdala is my song because I lost my memory and have extremely mental damages. Like long-term memory, like a lot of your past or a huge chunk of your past. What kind of memory did you lose? My life sucked. I had a lot of pain with my chronic illness and I can't do many things. I could never go to BTS concert, by example, because of my health, but I want love, my family, my husband, and music. I read for fun, really. I do not like philosophy at all. I have anything. So I have a lot of books lined up for you guys. I'm trying to think if I have something that is like light. I have some. The next book that you guys are going to get will be about marketing, how images are actually used to manipulate our emotions, to motivate us to do things that marketers and advertisers or brands want us to do. So how design plays a part in marketing and consumption. That's the next book that you're getting. You're also gonna get, there's a lot lined up. So I don't quite remember if there's like a comedy in there. There's a book, a Filipino book, an old one that I want, that I've been trying to, that I really am trying to look for. The title is um, Etiquette for Mistresses. It's a funny book, but it's basically teaching, like, if you're a mistress, these are the things that you should do. But at the end of the book, you'll sort of realize that it's actually directed at wives. So spicy title. Yeah, I'm looking for a copy of the book. So I'm asking my cousin if he can get a copy in the Philippines. Then, like, I'll ask him to buy a lot of copies. I'll scan it and give it to you guys. That book, I thought that's a movie. It's actually originally a book. What the hell for us? Did you watch the movie? I did not. No, I just watched. I just read the book, Etiquette for Mistresses. I saw that movie at. You should read the book. The movie has nothing on the book. The book is so entertaining. Have to go, great live fairly. Yeah, I'm also, yeah, bye Sharon. I'm also about to go. It's an hour and 45. I don't want to hold you up any longer. But please, how's your book coming along? It's coming. So I will probably next week, I'm going to be giving my Patreon subscribers the first chapter. And then I'll get their feedback, and then I'm writing the second and third chapter now. Books are usually better than movies. It is usually. I'm gonna send that book to MHJ. I like finding old books at estate sales. I found a medical textbook from the 1800s that said women should not read fiction. It causes mental disturbance. First chapter. Yeah, first chapter. I think it's free on Audible. Which one? Almond or Etiquette for Mistresses? Is anything scheduled for J Hope? Not, he hasn't scheduled any release. He hasn't mentioned anything. Can't wait for your own book. Excited for that. I'm excited too. um, in the next several weeks, I'll be posting some stuff on Patreon and also on Twitter and Instagram of the characters, some of their quotes. Watch out. So please follow me on Instagram as well. J Hope is in America. He's here with P Dog and Son Sundok. I'm so happy. OG team is back. I am so happy whenever OG team is back together working. I hope that the OG armies also come back. So yeah, I'm very, very excited. J Hope is in LA right now. He is. I hope no, sorry. I think he is in LA. Son Duk was in New York, and probably he's in LA now. That is wild. Especially if the book deals with a lot of internal musings. Okay. They have not cut out so much for the movie, and usually the wrong things. Correct. Cool. We are on the same continent, breathing the same air, right? What's your ID in Patreon? Asian Entertainment and Culture, AEC, Alpha Echo Charlie, Asian Entertainment and Asian Entertainment and Culture. I have to head off. Thanks for much fun. Yeah, thank you to everybody. It's an hour and 47. I don't want to hold you up any longer. I know that you guys probably have work tomorrow. Thank you so much for being with me. Um, I hope to see you in the next live. I will try to structure my lives better. And if you have any requests, let me know. Please follow me on Patreon. There is a free tier if you want to just try things out. And also on X and Twitter and on Instagram. Thank you, people. Good night. Oh, the Bio Explorer. Congratulations. Congratulations. Bye.